What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, aka 1/3 of the New Day. You're not gonna say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast, a show that takes a look at the soap opera nature of the WWE, the characters, the storylines, all the things that make us just mark out. For the first time in a little while, and live in studio, I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
You can call me Booby Lashley. I'm Jem.
It's been like 30 seconds, and we've already mentioned your front. This is our WrestleMania 37 in review, and it's coming at you at a special time of Wednesday at 9 a.m. on your podcast services, 8 a.m. on the 8 a.m. on this podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. Our usual show, which did take a break, it should be coming back hopefully soon. We've had some, we'll get into that in just a moment. Yeah. Comes at you on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can. Head over to facebook.com/group/popcultures, where you can come chat wrestling. Or there's also Twitter, Discord, Instagram. All those links are in the down below area. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this wrestling pod. You join on the podcast shows, give us a 5-star rating and a written review. Or if you're on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support the show financially, you can. Patreon.com/thepopcultures, as well as this merchandise store, popcultures.com/shop. We wear shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. God damn, it's good to see you, Jem.
I know, this is wild. It has been over 18 months easily that I have been.
Yeah, so much so that you forgot all about mic placement.
I know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's wild. It's been a wild time. I've just moved into my own apartment. So obviously I need that bit of a break to be able to do the move, and then with the job, and it's just been, I've been sick as well.
Yeah, but not even that. Like, this is the first time that you have been in studio in 18 months plus. Like, so this is like, we're talking pre-pandemic here. Like, the pandemic didn't separate us. Like, your location did.
Yes.
And then, so we were already working online before the pandemic kicked in. So this is a long time.
Yeah. And a crazy coincidence as well. Last week I got told I was doing a placement out here, and I was like, well, seeing as I'm out here and it's conveniently the week of WrestleMania, why not?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Exactly it.
And that's the thing. So for those that do normally that follow the show, obviously thank you for one. So we have been off the last couple of weeks, as Jem said, because you've been moving house, you've been a little bit unwell, and it's just kind of one of those things.
Yes.
So we skipped Fastlane and then all the shows throughout that. Hug it out, says Ashley. Still COVID, Ash. Semi-social distance.
Yep.
So we did miss Fastlane and all that, which is a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? Because when you moved, a big hunk of your computer gear was your housemate.
It was. Yep. So the headphones and the webcam and a bunch of other stuff. So I do have my own PC. I am buying that off him. So I didn't have internet at the time either. I didn't have a router. So got all that sorted. I've got a really fast internet. So hopefully we shouldn't have any more cutting out on my end.
Yeah, no more tech issues.
I've just got to, update. I need headphones. I've got everything else and a webcam, but other than that, which I'll be picking up tomorrow after work anyway.
Beautiful.
So look forward to it.
Get excited. Well, it's good. It's good to be back doing the show,
so nice.
Talking the wrestling, and what a good time to come back and talk about wrestling. So as we said, here to talk WrestleMania. Another 2-dayer. So I spent 6 days of this week watching wrestling, if not more.
Oh yeah,
6 days?
Busy day, a busy week. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it was Takeover as well.
So I watched Raw on Tuesday. Takeover was Thursday, Friday.
Did they do the normal NXT beforehand?
Yeah, NXT was on normal day, so it was Thursday. So yeah, Wednesday was Hall of Fame, but I didn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched the 2 takeovers, then AEW, then SmackDown, then 2 days of Mania.
Damn.
It's a lot of rest. I'm so glad I had the week off work, just like term break, so it wasn't too bad. But give me all that wrestling.
Yeah, it's been
a blast.
It's been a lot of wrestling, and surprisingly, obviously, going into this, I didn't have much expectations for Mania, obviously with everything going on over there, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so we one of the biggest things for this Mania, it is the first time in 12 months that the WWE have had a crowd.
Yes, there was a small portion of crowd there.
Yeah, there was 30,000, 40,000 people, something, which is pretty, we've had more people here at the G.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
saying that we haven't been
capacity restriction
fighting COVID as hard as they have. 25.
Exactly, yeah.
It's actually less, so 25K. I thought it was 40.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, maybe that's 25K per night. So.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so 50K total. Yeah.
Which is it's all right. But yeah, it was. Before we'll get into the specifics of each match and whatever. How did you feel watching a big set and a crowd and everything?
Well, one of the first things I noticed is the atmosphere is so different because it's not the artificial noises being put in. It was genuine crowd. Well, for the most part, but things the impromptu "This is awesome" chants and the back and forth between "Let's go Ripley, let's go Asuka," the back and forth and that sort of stuff, which you don't really have at the moment. I think the vibe, the back and forth thing, seeing actual faces there and signs in the crowd again and stuff like that. Really good start. You know it's going to be a good start if Vince McMahon opens. If he's on the stage and he's like, Welcome
to WrestleMania.
Shut up,
Now everybody wait 45 minutes because it's raining.
Yeah, which was hilarious. Obviously, there was a little bit of a rain delay there at the start, which, they all kept saying it. They're we've been waiting a year for this. What's a few more minutes? Exactly right. Damn right.
Yeah. So that's where it really kicks off, which was crazy. So they essentially shit, we've got time to kill. Hey, who wants to cut a 3-minute promo off script?
Yeah.
And everyone's fuck, douche, and just kick the door in. Owens comes in and smashes it. Drew comes in and smashes it.
The New Day, as always.
New Day smashed it. Seth smashed it. It was
Seth.
It was brilliant. But to add to what you're saying, having the crowd did change something. Seeing the set, seeing the full scope pyro, the big pirate ship,
it gave depth.
It did hit me in here a little bit. Being the mark that I am, admittedly, it did do a little bit in here, a little bit in my chest, and I was like, yeah, because it felt good.
Yeah,
seeing those big entrances come in and. I loved it. I loved the set as well. The set could have been a literal dumpster on fire, and I probably would have loved it.
Yeah, they did real good with the set.
First time I've seen this, and I even loved the intro video, which was kind of a play on what they're it's literally the same video as last year, but they're for only the second time. I'm yeah. Those little details made me chuckle pretty hard, but it was very, very cool. Like I said, when you said there was organic crowd, however, there also wasn't.
Yeah,
so
it was that weird
the night
balance.
there was a hosts. The hosts for the night were Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, and nobody was cheering for Hulk Hogan. That was fully,
Yes, but they piped in cheers. So on night 2, though, they weren't quite as fast as they should have been because some of them boos got in. There was a good half a second of boo. Yeah! Every time he spoke, he was such a bad choice. And he's from Tampa as well, which someone pointed out to me. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's getting booed this hard.
Who, Hulkster?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because, it doesn't matter if you're from here. If you're shit, you're shit.
Yeah, it's very interesting that they decided to have Titus O'Neil and confirmed racist Hulk Hogan.
It's exactly it.
It's
real
weird.
You know why? Because Hulk Hogan's not racist because he has a black friend.
Yeah, no, I'm still fucking racist. Just put it out there.
Because he has a black friend.
Yep, no, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was bad. I skipped past everything that had anything to do with Hulk. The only thing that made the Hulk moments bearable was Bailey.
No, the things that made the Hulk moments bearable was when Titus was talking. I was a big fan of that.
And there was no camera on.
No camera
Hulk.
on.
Yeah, when it was all focused on Titus or all focused on Bailey.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to, before we get started, give a special shout out to Bailey.
Yeah.
Because even though Bailey didn't really do anything, Bailey did a lot, and I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah, so everyone was kind of really bummed that Bailey didn't have a match. However, she didn't need a match because she just kind of came in and stole the show.
Because, ding dong, hello.
So her involvements were working with very stiff, she had great energy, but she was working with like a bunch of people that were very quite stiff.
Real
like
stiffs,
all the
yeah.
Hall of Famers were there, and
Yeah,
they were
the
like,
NWO, and she's just like, hello.
Yeah, and she's trying to pull energy, and they're not giving it. I think that was part of the bit as well, but even then, they just weren't matching her in excitement. Even in like the opposite direction, it was just uncomfortable.
You've also got to remember that they're trying their hardest not to have a stroke in that moment.
And they're also very fucking old.
Yeah, so there's
Like,
a few things going on there, so I can understand their energy wouldn't be...
It's like watching
if they do, they'll have a heart attack. So.
Yeah, so watching Great Khali, he was having a real tough time standing. Like
yeah.
He gripped Riddle's shoulder so he doesn't fall over and die.
I know.
And then of course NWO, everyone that's some old people.
Oh yeah, they're just about to have some heart attacks. Yeah.
That's cool. Either way, let's get into the show. Night one does kick off with Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. So, fun fact as well. I went read chat. What's chat telling me? Fireworks were amazing. They made the show better. That's true. They did. Cool. And everything else we sort of touched upon.
We did. Yep.
Yeah. So. I lost my train of thought. Yes. So, fun fact. So, over the Easter break, I went and visited my mum.
Yes.
My mum lives in Philippines, big hunk of drive, and when the night kicked in, I was like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I have SmackDown to watch. We ended up watching 7 hours of wrestling with my mum.
Oh, you were telling me.
We watched both. We watched Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. And my mum thought it was the funniest shit in the world.
Love it.
My stepdad gave it nothing but shit, but didn't leave the room.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is so fake. It's so dumb.
But I'm glued to it.
I'm like, you gonna move? I didn't tell him. It'd be just, he watched it. That's all of it. And she became a very instant fave of Drew McIntyre. So she will be quite devastated to hear that he did not regain the championship here.
Yes. And I was too. Obviously, this for me, when I saw the crowd immediately and knowing that, so there was a little backstage interview there with Bobby Lashley and MVP. Drew come in. Drew was like, I don't care if we've got a rain delay. I'll beat the shit out of you right here, all backstage and stuff. And I was like, do it backstage thing. Like, what? And, but with the crowd being there, I was like, this is perfect. Drew's got this in the bag. This is his moment. He gets his WrestleMania crowd. This is it. And it wasn't it. And it wasn't it. And I was so disappointed. So disappointed. However, I do like the idea of the Almighty Era. It's just a nice ring to it.
Yeah, so for those that, man, I'm sure you're all aware. But yeah, so they're referring to Drew's reign as the Almighty Era, and like that does have a good ring to it. What'd I say?
Drew's reign.
My bad, Bobby.
Yeah, because Bobby Lashley is the Almighty.
It's my own stroke coming.
And yeah, I agree, Christian. Like Drew should have won it back, but I do also think that if Drew's going to win that title again at a stage like WrestleMania, he deserves a full capacity crowd.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So
it's a weird balance.
It was a really good match. I did enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
You can tell that there was because everything was wet.
Yes.
There was some slowdown, a little bit of like holding in a little bit, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. In terms of my predictions, because I was going to do a predictions video, but I didn't end up doing it. I was originally predicting Drew to win.
Yes.
Getting mixed up. Keep expecting Drew to win.
Yes.
So I was like, cool, get that Mania moment.
Yes.
However, Lashley instead gets his own Mania moment here.
And obviously he's got that alliance with MVP, so MVP does make himself known in this match, which obviously his distraction. Surprisingly, not actually touching Drew, just shouting at him.
I love this, like, Drew, huh? Duh.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I don't think he yelled. Do you think he yelled Bobby? And Drew's like, what?
Yeah,
I think it's fucking wrecked.
But so ultimately, like, obviously Bobby Lashley does have that great ally in MVP for getting that win.
Gives him the hurt lock, and then he essentially does an
cruise
Austin
out.
and just like passes out.
Yeah,
rather
exactly
than tapping.
right.
So obviously Drew looks really good coming out of it because he refused to tap.
Yeah.
Bobby still looks incredibly strong because no one's broken out of no one's escaped the hurt lock yet.
Yeah.
So he's keeping that move really untouchable, which I quite like.
Yeah, and understandably so. It is one of those submission moves that like you either submit or you pass out. There's no real way out of it unless you are literally covered in oil like the greased up deaf guy.
Like Shane McMahon could sweat his way out of that hole.
Yeah.
He's the only one I
slipped
think
out
that
of
he's like
cage,
thunk, and he's just out. Only person that can do it, I guarantee.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised didn't happen this time, but we'll talk about that.
But yeah, no, it is very cool for Lashley to have his moment as well.
Yeah,
like he,
definitely.
You know,
he's been in the industry, like he's been in the WWE for 18 or so years. And yeah, it's definitely well deserved on his behalf. And I think he's really starting to establish himself now as well because he's talking more for himself than MVP is. And he's, you know, it seems to be like he's almost got like MVP there as his fail safe and he's in charge now. It's not like MVP.
Well, he's was it the CHO, the Chief Herd Officer?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, but it definitely does feel like it's this. There's starting to be this shift in power, and Bobby's taking that.
Well, I think that came through recently as well. So because we did miss it, the Hurt Business have split. Both Cedric and Shelton have been kicked out. I think with that moment, that's when that power redistributed from MVP to Bobby because he was the one that essentially made that call. I think that distribution has happened, and it's cool because MVP's sort of being there to help get Bobby in that position, and now that he's there, he can work as more of a managerial sidekick sort of
exactly,
which I think is great.
Yeah, which is perfect for MVP. Like, he is obviously getting on in age, and he's been walking around with that cane for a little while. So
I think he jacked his leg or his knee or something.
So injury prone, which means him being in the ring is he'd want to do it a bit more few and far between, so he doesn't cause anything too serious.
So taking that in mind, so obviously for everyone knows that WrestleMania is essentially the end of the season, right?
Yes.
So we're starting the brand new season of the year for the next 12 months. Do you see Drew and Bobby continuing?
For now, I see it falling flat. Because like the storyline's stale. There's no it's stale now. There's nowhere for it to go. There's nothing further that we can do with this, I don't think. So I think now it's a case of like, I think for Drew, he needs to take a step away and reassess where he's at. Obviously, it's a difficult situation to be in. Emotions are going to be running high. The best thing for him to do right now would be to take a step back, have a breathe, have a think about where he wants to make his next move, make it calculated, make it count. So take your damn time. Whereas Bobby Lashley, I think, is in a position. I honestly think Bobby Lashley is in a position to have quite a prominent and undisputed reign. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if that man is undefeated for a long time as a champion. Because he's just that hurt lock it's just, I don't know, to me it's just one of those ones that it's just like you just don't get out of that. Like I said, unless you're covered in oil and you can sweat your way out like Shane McMahon. It's a weapon. It's a weapon.
Yeah, so I'm in a similar space to you. I do think that it will be a little bit like Drew will hold the title for a little while. I think because looking at the roster and who's Bobby? Going to... Sorry, I keep saying Drew, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke.
That's all right,
Bobby, however, will hold it for a little while.
Yeah.
I see that being... Mostly because I look at the roster and there's no one else yet that I think's real... No one's really been given that shot to go up because we've seen nothing but Drew and Bobby for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think Drew will probably take not some time away. I still think he'll hang around. But you got to remember Money in the Bank's coming up and Drew's not a champion, so why not focus down there?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if it were me and I look like Drew. If I look like Drew, I would obviously look at myself in the mirror all the time because I look like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But it would also come down to like, well, okay, so I'm back of the line again now. Unless there's an automatic rematch, which we don't know because we haven't finished Raw yet. So it would come down to if he's getting a rematch, sweet.
Yeah.
If not, find a way to get back in.
Yeah,
and so
exactly,
my site, right, knowing that it's not going to be super easy for me to get back to Bobby, I would look ahead and look for Money in the Bank.
Yeah. definitely a good idea.
And I think that gives a little bit of time to sort of watch Bobby and see where he goes. Because I think there will, with the, I'm not going to say hubris, but there is a strong pride and that we're seeing in the likes of in the likes of the Hurt Business themselves. And I do think that with that will come some downfalls.
Yeah.
You know, and like they'll find that, hold back, wait, find that weakness, exploit that weakness a little bit, or get someone else to, you know, sort of be that watcher from an outside, find your opportunity, get in there.
Yeah. I think in the interim though, obviously because, you know, go to that option and Drew does go back the line. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but I do just want to say quickly, I do have a prediction that Damian Priest will be in that picture sooner rather than later. And we'll talk about why a little bit later on. But just throwing that out here now, I think Damian Priest is going to get into that mix somehow. Fantastic.
What was next on the card?
So next on the card was the women's tag team turmoil match. So it was Naomi and Lana, Carmella and Billie Kay, the Riot Squad, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Tamina, and Natalya. So the tag teams of all of them.
Before we even get started, one of the things we'll get, like, I didn't even care when they came in. Mandy Rose fell over and it was funny.
Oh, yeah, that was, so bloody graceful. Graceful as hell. Yeah. Go, Mandy. You did amazing.
The child that I was like, Mandy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you cheer her on. You're like, haha, you're the best.
That was one of my highlights of the night, actually. Yeah. Of the event.
Yeah, it was.
Got up and went, yeah, and everyone went, yeah.
Yeah, so graceful because they're like, she's up and she's like, I'm up.
Yeah, thankfully, I was kind of hoping she'd go, dunk. And like slide down the ramp a little bit because I was waiting for someone to like fall and just eat shit and slide, but no, she went dunk and then
like a slider.
Yeah, just like that slow because like the water would really like fuck with
I'd imagine they'd have to have some grip to it, but yeah, I'm imagining like a little slip and dip.
Because you'll even notice that like when Naomi and Lana entered, they didn't do their knee slide because the water would actually kind of you'd go straight and then just fall on their face.
They'd end up doing a Titus.
Yeah, or they would either slide all the way down depending on how much water's on there, or it would increase the friction and they just stop and fall on their face.
Yeah,
both options possibly brilliant.
Yeah.
But instead they chose to walk down, which is fine.
Yes.
Just go through the running order.
Yeah,
and then we'll chat about it overall.
Naomi and Lana versus Carmella and Billie Kay. Carmella and Billie Kay did get the win with a
sneaky,
assisted pin, which was really smart. And then it was the Riot Squad were up next, and Billie Kay and Carmella tried that little trick again, didn't work. Riot Squad did get the win, which brought out Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, which again, the Riot Squad won, which brought the end to the Riot Squad, Natalya and Tamina, which Tamina ended up getting the win off a Superfly splash, as directed by Natalya on Ruby Riot. I wrote Ruby Rose for some reason. For the win. Now, when this did happen, I got a little bit excited. Because as we know, the tag team champions are Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Shania Payne, yep.
Shania Payne. Nia and Tamina have history as a tag team.
They do have history.
They have family there too. They've got they're second cousins of The Rock or something.
Oh wow.
I think Tamina
is the only Samoan dynasty member who isn't related.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yeah, I was like oh yeah, Tamina and Nia, bring it. Like, I got excited when I saw that happen. I was like, tomorrow night, yeah.
See, the thing that got me most intrigued was seeing Carmella and Billie come together. Actually, that was number one. That was number one. In that case, number two was seeing Billie Kay. Billie Kay was on fire. She's a fucking national treasure, and we should all give her the love that she deserves, because her coming out and trying to be all like sexy like Carmella and just like being real unco about it, she's fucking fantastic.
She wore that little thing that everybody makes fun of her for, and Carmella had her own one as well. I was like, that's a bit cute.
And it looks like Carmella might be returning to her Mallory's money. Like, she's still, because Corey still referred to her as the untouchable one, but they've kind of pulled back from her new character, which makes sense because it didn't really land.
Carmella's promoting the Mallory's money thing as well, so it's definitely a huge part of. I mean, even though she's untouchable, she is still quite class. So Mella still being money makes sense.
Yeah, no, it still 100% works.
Yeah.
So this was one of the toughest ones for me to predict going into it. I think I did end up. Mad Dog, if you're in the chat, he'll be confirmed for me. Because I do my predictions through him. He's got a competition running going at the moment, and I want that fucking TCW custom belt. I'm gonna put it up in here. If I win it.
Make a great edition.
Yeah, I'll put it out here when I need to. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I ended up putting Tamina and Natalia, and was like, Tanya? No, not Tanya. I'm like, there's no one named Tanya, Ryan. You're having another stroke. And Natalia. But one thing that I really, really liked was that there was that moment when Natalia could have got the sharpshooter, but she didn't. She gave Tamina that WrestleMania moment. In 2 out of 2 matches, people that should have had a Mania moment got them. Yes. And look, that's that little bit of emotional part of me went, no! Yeah. Because Natalia's had him.
Yeah.
Tamina hasn't. And she had that moment to score a win at Mania. And I was like, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, no, that was really nice. And you could see the excitement in them at the end of it. I like Natalia and Tamina as a team because they
work, don't they?
Yeah. Unlike Tamina and Nia, who are just 2 big chicks being like, just being big and tough, they've got that skill behind them. So it's more than just I'm big and tough. It's like there's athleticism to it, and obviously like Natty feeds that into Tamina and vice versa. So they've got the strength and the athleticism. They're a full package.
To me, they feel like They feel like, because they're like the classics. Yeah. Right? So Natalia's obviously been there longer and she trains a bunch of the newies. I think Tamina's in a similar position. Yeah. So like in terms of, they are the legacy team. Yeah. But, the
wrestling mums.
The wrestling mums. The wrestling mums. That's where I see, and I think that's why they feel good as a team. Yeah. Where like Carmella and Billy were cool. And we should note, friend of the show, Josh Robinson, did make that happen. He had a meet and greet with Carmella, and he did suggest that they should team up, and Carmella was like, this was like a really good idea. Then they did. So all I'm saying is Josh Robinson
did it for Australia.
Happen. Did it for fucking Australia. Made sure that Billy Kay got into Mania. Yeah. Couldn't do the same for Peyton. No. Because that was the other, like, when
because she's not related to The Rock.
So I did the prediction stream with Mad Dog. You mentioned, but you were unwell.
Yes.
We were discussing, like, what's Billy going to do? And the pitch that I got was, I didn't come up with it, but it got pitched to me, was that Billy's around the backstage looking for someone to find. She finds Peyton. Billy and Peyton get their shot. Yeah. And they come out. And I would have cried.
Oh, yeah,
I unquestionably would have cried.
Yes, 100%.
But it didn't happen that way. Carmella's still fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Carmella has had that reserve for a couple of weeks.
And Riot Squad obviously were great. And like they stayed in there for a big hunk of time. They compared to everyone else, they are the team. They've been one of the longest running women's teams in the recent time.
Exactly right.
Like they have
slapped together.
Yeah, they've been a team since they came up. So that's obviously they've lost Sarah Logan, but they've been a consistent team. Yes. And I do think they've been able to have their run and their opportunities, and I do think they will get there. I don't know when. Yeah. Because spoilers for what happens on night 2, belt doesn't change hands. Yes. So I do think that they will get in there again, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit later.
It's a tricky one. It's a very tricky one.
We've got Chin Chat. So Puck comes in and confirms. So Tamina is part of the Anoya family. Jax is directly related to The Rock. Ione, thank you. But further out to that one. So related, but a lot of math involved. Then Naomi is related by marriage due to her being married to one of you. So I think it's Jimmy. Which means they are also related to Rikishi, Umaga, and Yokozuna. And that one's about Romans. We'll get to that soon.
So did I, Mullet. So for those who didn't watch, the Riot Squad did cosplay as the Suicide Squad. Ruby Riot as Joker and as we've seen very frequently, Liv Morgan as Harley Quinn. Really good.
It's good costume.
Looked really good. Makeup and everything. Beautiful. Yeah.
It was a good little touch because we've had normally they do a new costumes for pay-per-views, but someone pointed out and I was like, oh yeah, that they haven't really done it for any of the Thunderdome ones because who cares? Exactly. So I was like, oh yeah, no one has done it. That's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, what was next?
I did notice a lot of white.
It was a lot of white.
A lot of white. Up next was now this was a beautiful match. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. What a match.
So this is Cesaro. This was Cesaro's first ever singles match at WrestleMania. Which is fantastic.
Yes.
So the story going into this was that once when Seth comes out and has his return after being
Cesaro.
on dad leave, everyone leaves but Cesaro. Cesaro's like, fuck you, and then swings him around, and it continues to swing him around
22 times.
Yeah, so the idea was just that he got embarrassed by Cesaro and he wants to fight him.
Yep, exactly right.
I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, killer match. So Cesaro he had like a modified swing where he chucked him up. Yeah, airplane swing, but he called it the UFO swing because look, mono hands. So there's no wings.
Yeah, so I counted about 18 swings, but it got kayfabed into like 23.
Yeah, because half swings. Yeah, they counted it as a full swing. Stupid, but because he did that first one. It was only like 9 or something like that.
No, because we're not at the Roman match. Is why we're not discussing the Roman match. Come back to it. These two are phenomenal. And we constantly talk about how underutilized Cesaro is and how phenomenal he truly is. And to go so quickly from being somebody so disliked with Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn to suddenly being I don't know. I think Cesaro is really going to start to take off from this now. I think that was that moment that we really sort of saw what Cesaro is made of. And Seth was the perfect person to show that. And I think Cesaro chose that battle really well. Yeah, so as I said, we're now 3 for 3 for WrestleMania moments, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So what I love about this is Cesaro has most prominently probably in the last, as long as I've been watching, right? He is essentially the good worker. If they need someone to go and work a match and they need someone that can do it and do a good job and put someone over, it's Cesaro. Cesaro has taken many L's in order to help give someone the rub. Whether that be, I think he had a match against Mansoor in one of the Saudi shows. So the idea is that you are going to lose. It's Mansoor. Yeah. Where I think they've given him a good space. And I like, in terms of this dynamic, because obviously we've got Seth Rollins being the most obnoxious person in the room. Yeah. With Cesaro's kind of like straight face, I don't care. Which was really cool because like with Seth, they were building him as that obnoxious heel because his clothes were becoming more and more unnecessary, ridiculous because he's just being a prick about it. Yeah, he literally said, "I am a god" during that match. And we finally had that moment because like one of the things about with this storyline was him being the Messiah, and this is the first time he's gone, "I am a god." Yes. And I love that because because in terms of a storyline payoff, that's what that's building to. Yeah. Now, I don't know where that goes from here. Is he going to get like an even bigger complex and be brought back down? Who knows? Yeah. But I do like where that's going because I don't think this has any. I think the storyline between Cesaro and Seth is finished. Yes. And I think the entire point of this story was to get Cesaro his moment. Yeah. And now that that's been done, I don't see them going any further. They might go back to what they were doing. I think the whole story was told in the match. Like, I think it really is one of those matches that you do have to watch because it's your old school wrestling. It's like they're telling that story by the way they're hitting each other. Yeah, and even something down as simple as working Cesaro's arm, so therefore he can't do the swing, and he's like, well, fuck you, and does the swing anyway. Yep, exactly right. And it just shows that strength and resilience of Cesaro, and it really puts him on that pedestal that he really does deserve to be on. It was a beautiful match, and 100% one I would recommend watching for sure. Yeah, no, I really like it. Such a good match. Yeah, I don't think that much will eventuate directly from this, but I think it really puts Cesaro in that winner's circle and something can build for him from there. Yeah, I don't see Cesaro winning the title anytime soon. I don't think they've got that in mind for him. Yeah. But at least I think they might be able to tie him in somehow. Yes. Pretty cool. Next, I'm just going to spoil it straight off the bat. We had change of the Raw Tag Team Championships. We did. So the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. So pretty much exactly what you expected, right? It was Omos out of the ring for a while, AJ in, New Day dominant, destroying AJ with the idea of don't let Omos in.
One thing I did love about this though, and it has to be pointed out, is if you listen and like you can hear Xavier Woods like holding on to AJ, yelling out to Omos. He's just like, "This is how a tag team does it. Cut in the ring in half. It's effective." And he's giving a running commentary of what they're doing while they're doing it. It was just beautiful, and that's what I love about the New Day. It's like with the rain delays, they jumped into an interview there and they just brought it to life. Like they're just so good at that, and their live going commentary, and they're just they're perfect. And even with this match, and it was so predictable, you knew Omos was going to get in there and he was just going to destroy them. What I didn't realize was Omos was going to be laughing the entire time.
Yeah,
this is this straight-faced dude with no emotion the entire time. He's like wee.
That's one thing I really liked, is like he can clearly see he was like having a blast.
Oh, he's having a blast.
And
he's literally like a kid. He's like
what I really, because like there was all this build up. Xavier Woods gets the top rope. He's ready to splash AJ or like do some sort of knee drop, and then you see him like AJ creech back. He's like, no, don't move, stay there. So as he jumps, Omos gets tagged in, and then like that fear comes across Xavier Woods, and then Omos kind of steps over the top rope because he's like 11 feet tall, and then just like starts pounding on them. And I thought I was having a blast with it. It's probably one of the matches I enjoyed the least.
Yeah. I think I didn't like match-wise, the actual like competition-wise. I wasn't a fan. However, like I think just like the things, like it's just a New Day. Little things like the running commentary and the cheekiness.
Their ring gear, you like the ring gear? Because it was clear. It was all 2021.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so that was a bit clever.
Yeah,
and I did. Once again, mark out a little bit because there was that moment with Big E. Big E came out.
Ducks up behind
he does the intro. In the interview at the start, so we finally got to see the New Day as a trio again, which was great. He got to do the intro and bring them out. They all got to be there. Yeah. And then he kind of, but it was also sad to see Big E fade back in.
Yeah, he just faded back as they were coming down. Knows his place.
But yeah, no, it was good to sort of have the New Day come together again.
It was a really, really fun little thing.
But yeah, so AJ and Omos are the new tag team champions, and I did like the cutaway coming back to AJ just on his shoulders, like, hey!
Oh yeah, both belts on Omos's shoulders because that's how they do.
Yeah. So chat does ask who is gonna stop Omos, and that's the thing, I don't know. Because
maybe Braun Strowman because they had issues. Maybe there'll be a tag team.
Yeah, but that was Raw Underground. You didn't talk about it Raw Underground. Like Raw Underground never exists as far as they're concerned. So it would have to be a tag team. And if you look at the tag team status right now at Raw or in general, it's pretty abysmal. So you've got the New Day, and if they win again, they become 12-time tag team champions, which is getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
and then you've got the Viking Raiders who came back.
I was about to say I don't want to spoil anything, but there is also the Viking Raiders.
Chat also reckons Braun and Nicholas come back, which would be cool. Yeah,
Can you imagine Nicholas?
Because Omos and Braun are the storytelling is that one small guy, one big guy. Braun's like, why have you beat big guy and even smaller guy? It's like, oh my god.
Oh no. We're being overcompensated the other way.
Yeah, so that'd be something. But then there's like Cedric and Shelton. Profits are on SmackDown now. Are there other teams? Where's the Lucha House Party at?
Oh, LHP are Raw because because they would team in with Riddle. So LHP are Raw. My brain just stopped.
Because like there aren't many, so that's the thing.
Currently, though, obviously we're seeing returns now, so
so like Retribution now separated from Mustafa Ali because that happened while we were away.
Oh yeah, because Mustafa's just
they still might do something,
possibly.
But even then, like, no one's going to kill. But they're not going to be a.
If they do anything, it's going to be Xavier Woods versus me anyway.
So give us that match.
Yeah. Take that.
Mad Dog says Team PopC could try. Craig and I give it a bell.
Yeah, give it a bell.
So I think it's open to it. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know who's the one that can bring him down, but I'm open to it.
Oh, there's are they on
who?
Elias and Jackson Rocker, are they on Raw?
SmackDown.
They're SmackDown. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Speaking of though.
Wait, are they?
not sure.
Hang on, where's Braun?
Braun on Raw?
No, Braun's SmackDown.
Braun SmackDown.
Wait, is he? No, Braun's Raw. Puck confirms they are Raw.
Yep. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they're not going to do it either.
No.
It's like, where are they on? Raw or SmackDown? It doesn't matter. They're not going to.
They're not going to do it. But yeah, Elias and Riker possibly. And what brings me to that is the next match. Mm-hmm. We did have Captain Sweaty almost slip out of his shed again.
So steel cage match. Braun Strowman versus Shane McSweaty McMahon.
Yes. Just quickly, Reverend Puck does make a good point there that we do have Akira Tozawa and his ninjas.
All the ninjas.
Yeah,
and they move so fast, you think it's only two people.
Well, if you dress a bunch of them up in a trench coat on top of each other, they'll be the same size as him almost. They'll look exactly like him.
That's true. But yeah, so the end of one of the shittiest things coming into Mania was Braun Strowman versus Shane, Brains versus Braun.
Yeah. Which, this match ultimately did go to show that sometimes Braun does have brains.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things. So I have a friend who cognitive issues, and one of the things I find so fascinating about them is because their brain doesn't work the same way as mine does. What's logical to me, what's functional but logical to me is different to them.
So non-neurotypical, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly it. So neurodivergent, is that what they call them?
Yeah, non-neurotypical. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so for instance, there was a part there where Shane McMahon was on the other side of the cage and he's shoving his hand in and taunting Braun, and Braun just grabs his hand and holds onto it with dear life. And in that situation, think, they try and for me, I'd be get your hands through the thing, try and lift them all the way up. No, Braun just goes, why go up when I can go through? Yeah. Which is for me, it's logically that doesn't work for me, but because he's a big dude, logically it does for him. He's I'm big enough to just tear him straight through this, so I'll tear him straight through this.
I did quite like it. As he pulls, you go pop, 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 little rivets pop up.
Yeah. And Shane's just gobsmacked and he just pulls him in through this gap, and I was just and this that sort of activity is what my friend does. It's it doesn't make sense to me until they do it, and I'm I can see how that makes sense to you. I couldn't do it myself, but I can see. And then I had one of those moments of he's so smart in his own way, because it's I would have never thought to go through. In that situation, you can. It's it's thin wire, pop, pop, pop. Done.
But it was a cool spot. I don't think
I've ever seen anything like that in the WWE.
My original prediction was going to be along the lines of Brock, when I think it was Brock that speared someone through.
Oh yeah.
Through the cage.
Oh, I know Undertaker did the choke slam through the top of the cage on Mick Foley.
No, that was a Hell in the Cell match where it's just stands through the cage. Yeah. But then I think it may have been a Hell in the Cell match. Either way, someone got speared through the side. Yeah. And that technically, because they hit the ground first, they won. Yes. Brock did it to Roman. There you go.
There you go. Yep.
Thank you, Puck.
Thank you.
Puck's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Always coming through with the facts.
Oh, always.
He's he is a fountain of knowledge.
Yep, I love that.
He's in Carter 95. He's very smart. Very smart.
But yeah, this was, for what it was all right. It had those moments like that were really good.
And then, of course, as Shane McMahon does, he took a brutal fucking bump.
Oh yeah,
they get on the top rope. Braun just grabs him and yeets him, and he does a front flip and blows apart his back.
Yeah,
he makes it 3/4 of the way across the ring.
Oh yeah,
how does Shane do it?
I don't know. That man is so fast. I did say the start of the match, he was so agile, because the first first of all, coming out, Braun Strowman during his entrance does get attacked by Elias and Jackson Riker with weapons. They throw a chair into the ring, so Shane's got something to start with, and Shane does start getting the upper hand. Braun obviously gets over real quick. Things they were climbing up the top of the cage, and Braun's oh no, Shane
hip
must
and
have
shoulder. Yeah, so Shane was climbing it.
Shane
Elias
jumped up, and I was holy crap, he's agile.
And Jackson were on the other side, and they were trying to pull him over. Braun hip and shoulders the cage. They fall down.
Knocks them off. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would not have thought of that. Braun just and they're gone, which was so smart. And that's another thing that shows sometimes Braun have brains. It's just they register it differently.
This match wasn't. It was good. I enjoyed it.
It was definitely entertaining. but it just like
It didn't hit the beats
emotionally
that
I felt
wanted,
flat.
I was like, I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
But like, there's no investment in it for me.
That's very yeah. I wasn't invested, but I did still enjoy it, which is something. And one thing that really hit home with it, and the end of the match that made me a bit teary, was right at the end of it. Shane McMahon's out. He is out. You know that this is the end of the match.
He's fucking dead.
Braun Strowman goes, "This is for anyone who's ever been called dumb or stupid. This is for you. This is what happens to bullies." And I got a bit teary. I was a bit like, oh, because it's such a beautiful message to send. And it was a good message. It was the right time of the show for the message. It like that little bit hit me as well. Like that hit me as like okay, I get why this happened now. This is beautiful. So yeah, like I actually ended up really enjoying this more than I thought I would.
Yeah, see, like for me, that was just big old standard babyface promo at the end. I didn't really think too much about it because once again with Braun, he is heel face more than anyone. It's been pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
I
he's
know.
probably the toughest one. It was like, cool.
Yeah, but
Wasn't
still, it's like, you know, it's even someone as big as him can still be affected by it type thing. So, you know, my emotional ass was all like, oh,
yeah, don't get me wrong. Like when I watched his Chronicle or whatever, I was like, a big mess. But like, yeah. So what was next?
Next was Miz and Morrison. Hey. Ho, ho.
Talk about one of the matches that I went in with the least expectation.
Oh man, didn't we all? And we were. I'm pretty sure everybody, including the superstars in that match, were shocked as hell.
Yeah,
Damian Priest included. That made me piss myself when I saw him look at Bad Bunny like, what?
So Bad Bunny was the celebrity appearance for night one.
I thought he was going to stand around and do it.
Yeah, so we've seen him do bit more and a bit more. Like one of the first things he did, he threw a slap once and then a punch, and then he did a bit of a crossbody once, and then he gave a guitar, then he took a guitar. I'm like, he's slowly working up to something, and little did we realize that this, like, coming into this match, he was going to fucking own it. Like, he didn't just have a match, he was in the match.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, obviously, Bad Bunny made a song about Booker T, so his entrance music is that song, Booker T. Booker T was at ringside, and he's like, you know, obviously me and Bunny are close now, I've seen how hard he's training, and I'm like, nah, you're just talking it up. And then you see him, like, Bad Bunny, I can't put into words. It is one of those things that you just have to go and watch. Bad Bunny, you expected him to like just be like lazy, like not be able to do anything hard at like. And this man is flipping people like John Morrison over.
Yeah,
and, like,
so he
did a big like Somerset flip thing.
Like he's taking bumps, and then he does a crossbody, and then he does a Canadian.
I calls it the Bunny Destroyer.
Bunny Destroyer. Yeah, there's a Canadian Destroyer out in the ring, and I love this because it happens. Miz goes, "What?" Damian Priest goes, "What?" And we all went,
like,
"What?"
Yeah. Oh, it was ridiculous. I did not expect that tiny little man to flip John Morrison over like that.
So Puck in the chat references Pat McAfee, and I would agree. I would put Bad Bunny on that same, like in terms of someone that you go, all right, whatever, and they come and you go, oh shit. Holy shit! Like Pat McAfee did that with his match with Adam Cole. It was like, holy crap! And then here with Bad Bunny, it's like, holy crap! Like because the storyline coming in, like I never understood why he was coming in. I think part of it because we don't like he's Puerto Rican, I think. Yes. And he's part of like the Spanish in music industry, which doesn't really come across here in Australia. It just doesn't happen. But obviously it's a big thing there. So I was originally thinking it was just sort of some connection to that to that, you know, that industry. Mm-hmm. Turns out he actually was a big wrestling fan and approved it. Yeah. And I was really taken aback by that.
Oh, really yeah, same. And his entrance was sick as well. That truck ride into the arena, that was so mad.
And Damian, and we're completely just passing over.
Well, that's the thing is, like, Damian Priest was phenomenal, but I'm so glad because I think Damian Priest has so much more in him. Damian will get his WrestleMania moment. I think this was more so for Bad Bunny. Yeah, I think this was like that big, like, I guess it was his being such a mark, like it was his WrestleMania moment. And I think it was awesome because, like, Damian Priest, amazing. We know he's amazing. He's such a strong, like, character. Like, just as in general, like his personality, his match stuff, like his just characteristics are just strong. Like even his presence, like I just like, oh yeah, I'm getting a bit like, oh, Damien Priest, make me go to church.
So Reverend Park mentions that Bunny's entrance was a reference to the old WCW NWO Revenge entrance from the game.
Yes, okay.
And Mad Dog,
Eminem, Miz and Morrison. Oh my God.
Yeah, so Mad Dog asked questions. Can we address the bunnies? So the entrance for Miz and Morrison, hey hey ho ho, was a bunch of people in bunny costumes. Now,
I think there's something called Hey Hey Hop Hop.
Yeah, so no idea who they were, but there's just random people. One guy nearly tripped and ate shit in front of the camera.
Yeah, it was great.
His mask came off and everything. Some bunny just lost its ear at one point.
Oh, yeah.
It was chaos. Not good chaos. It was bad chaos.
Nah, it was a terrible, terrible rip-off of Bad Bunny, but like, nice try. Good for you. Yeah. But yeah, I just put together, I was like, Miz and Morrison, I called them Eminem in my notes, and I was like, duh, Morrison came from Eminem. Anyway, don't mind me just braining back to the good old days. Good match.
Yeah, it was good.
Good match overall. But I guess we'll address it now that we're here. The reason I said that I might see Damien Priest in that title picture at the start of the show was because it didn't happen tonight, but on night 2, there is a little promo where Triple H is holding this container and Bad Bunny walks up and he goes, it's your turn now, and hands him this. Bad Bunny looks at it and goes, yeah, all right. And he gets back on his truck and starts driving. And he puts a thing down next to him and it says Tour 2022.
Yeah, it's a microphone to promote his tour for next year.
Yeah. So, so it's promoting Bad Bunny's tour next year. So that obviously means Bad Bunny has taken his leave, which leaves Damien Priest. Back on his own. That's why I think with Damien Priest being on his own now, he's going to work his way into that picture. Because, like, sure, Buddy stole the show for that match, but it still didn't take away from how much Damien Priest has put in this entire run. It's been all Damien Priest. Buddy got his moment for this. Now Damien can move on from that, which I think is needed because it was starting to get a little bit stale.
Yeah, it was because it was a bit rough, but like it paid off something fierce, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Speaking of paying off,
yes.
Final match of the night.
Final match of the night. It was the main event of WrestleMania Night 1.
Your 2021 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Bianca Belair versus
the EST versus the BOSS.
Yeah, so EST, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Just get fucking right to it. And your new SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair.
Yes. Now, first of all, Sasha Banks, that green and blue hair combo.
Yeah, that was a really good effort.
Which was a throwback to an old outfit of hers, I believe.
Okay.
I saw a comparison photo and I was like, hey, I see what you did there. But I did love the blue and green. Looked amazing. Now, this was a hell of a match. Again, another one that I was like, I wasn't because it's been building up for so long. And
it's been building up poorly.
Yes. But yeah, this was phenomenal. So I think the biggest thing and the most notable thing that everybody will be talking about is that hair whip from Belair to Banks's torso, because you saw that looked like it had cut her open. Which is interesting because they piped in that whip sound again. Yeah. Which was, I was like, oh. Yeah. But very clearly it did do some damage. Oh, yeah. That got her. But like in the chat, Puck mentions what happened before it kicked in. So this match means a lot for different reasons. Yes. For especially for the two women involved. So it's the first WrestleMania main event with a singles match. Yeah. Because the first women's main event was the triple threat with Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. Yes. Which is the first singles one and the first one to ever have two women of color. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. So when you see sort of both Bianca and Sasha be quite moved as they start the match, I think that was awesome. Yeah, and it goes so Puck adds, it'll appear in every WrestleMania promo from now until eternity. Yeah, it is one of those things that it's the perfect WrestleMania moment. Yeah. And God, it was a hell of a match. There was some beautiful, beautiful stuff in there. Yeah, ultimately Belair got the kiss of death for the win, which sort of popped out of nowhere.
So they did end with the KOD, which was cool. But there was some great stuff. They ended up getting outside at one point. There was Sasha went for a suicide dive, I believe, which then Bianca caught her, rolled it into a gorilla press.
Yeah.
Gorilla press, where she kind of holded it above. It was a fireman's carry. It was across the shoulders.
Yeah.
And. Oh, was it?
No. She had her over her head and she was walking up the steps.
Yeah. Then she walked up the steps with the gorilla press.
Yeah. The gorilla press.
And like that was brutal. Like that was
that
very
was huge
cool.
because it goes. She's the strongest.
The match was way better than I expected. So because heading into this match, like I knew that they could go because Sasha Banks is brilliant. Bianca Belair has shown that she can do really well.
Banks is the blueprint.
But the story coming into this was really weird because they were at each other, but they kept getting because for some reason, pardon me, like Shania Payne kept getting involved in both women's title pitches. Why am I so tired?
Oh, because they're like, oh no, but we're the best. Like, look at our tag team.
Yeah, and like so they never really got to sort of focus on each other, which I think was a real bit of a problem heading into in terms of telling that consistent story.
Yeah.
So to have them finally come together and it be a really good match and a really good main event.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great way to end the show, and night one really blew me away. I was not expecting.
Yeah, so we'll get this a little bit later. So on paper, when I looked at what the cards were going to be, I looked at night two and I looked at night one. I'm like, night two has it, man. Like in terms of actual matches, like on paper, night two has it, but night one really blew me away.
The performance that they put on that first night, I think it was just extraordinary.
Now, I'll admit, I'm pretty confident that there is some confirmation bias in there, in the idea of seeing the crowd and watching it with my friends, and sort of the environment certainly played a role. Like, granted, on this show, because for us it's called The Young and the Wrestlers, all right? Like, we look at the soap opera thing, and we aren't any sort of wrestling analytical professionals. So for us, our comes from how we feel and what we think, right?
Yes.
So it's not going to be this match was not very good. You know, we're not trying to be fucking Dave Meltzer or anything.
No.
We just tell you whether we liked it, whether we didn't.
Yep, and why.
And 9 times out of 10, we'll probably not. We won't like we've shat on WWE plenty of times, but it's just like.
It's all part of the fun.
We normally are pretty positive-ish.
Well, like in saying that though, like you say you have a bit of a bias. I was watching.
I'm aware that there is that I may have a bias.
Yeah. Well, see, for me, I was watching it at 3:00 in the morning on my own, and I watched. Number 2 hit 3:00. But I was watching both of them on my own in my apartment, and so there's nothing spectacular there for me except for me just watching it. You know, in the dark and everything, lights off. I was just fully immersed. And for me, night one really did. It just had those moments. It had the WrestleMania moments, which I feel like lacked in the second night. One thing I did love, though, and I do have to make a special note of it, is the fact that obviously last year's class in the Hall of Fame didn't get their Hall of Fame moment on stage and stuff like that. So this year they were brought back to do their Hall of Fame moment, which I think was really beautiful. They deserved it. It was beautiful. It was really nice to see that happen. So they had the class of 2020 on the first night, and then they did the class of 2021 on the second night, which, hell yeah, Molly Holly, class of 2021. She's well deserved. Long overdue. But yeah, I thought that was really nice that they got those moments in there as well. That was something else. But yeah, overall, night one was, shall we curt it?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, when we rate things here, we rate things on a scale of Kurt Angles. So because Kurt Angle looks like a thumb, our ratings are based on 2 Kurt Angles. So we have Kurt's and bars.
Which is, if you don't remember, Cesaro
So if you're in a half point, you rock a bar. If you're in a full point, you give it a Kurt.
Yeah,
what
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Do you give night one out of 2 Kurt's?
Out of 2 Kurt's, night one, I would probably go a Kurt and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to say in both. Kurt and a bar for me.
Kurt and a bar.
Let us know what you think in the chat. Yeah, Kurt and a bar seems about right. Like, it wasn't across the board. Everything was brilliant. Like, it was certainly entertaining, but there were some of those matches were like,
Yeah, I think the extra half comes from those moments. You get the WrestleMania moments.
Yeah, the WrestleMania moments did bring it up a little bit for me. Yeah, certainly.
And it's so fascinating that they do. They have those moments that are just the WrestleMania moments. They're just that biggest one. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. They've got that.
So let us know what you thought of night one. Puck in the chat wants to add one quick thing before we jump to night two. He goes, I'm not sure whether the whip cracking noise is piped in.
I didn't think it was.
In most whips, the tip has a popper/cracker in it, which is probably weaved into the end of that fake braid.
Yep.
I'm not a prop guy for WWE to be 100% sure. Now, the only reason I assumed that it's piped in because they've done it before.
Yes. Lucha Underground, I kid you not, they sit at a table with a mic. The table's mic'd up, and they have like a ruler. And whenever somebody hits somebody, they go. It's great.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. So because I made the assumption, but like if they did pipe it in, they piped it in on record timing. So it's very possible that it may have had something in there.
Yeah, which
and
would
also
explain.
And it would also explain the line on Sasha's side.
Yeah. Oh, she was definitely hit with that easily. Yeah. You could tell by the way she reacted to it. Even though, like, as we know, things like this, we love the WWE, but things are predetermined.
Oh, duh.
And certain things like that would be.
It's a spot, It's a playing spot.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that even though it's going to happen, it doesn't mean it's not going to hurt any less. So that reaction.
That was actually using.
That was a genuine reaction.
Like before, when I talked about my watching wrestling with my mum, she's like, "It's all fake, isn't it?" I'm like, "No, it's predetermined." What do you mean? I'm like, "The outcome is known, but you can't fake taking a chair."
Yeah, exactly right.
She's like, "Well, are they rigged?" I'm like, "No, they're chairs."
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're just they're just like light metal
weak.
chairs.
Yeah.
They're just weaker chairs.
Yeah.
Because when we're watching it and this guy takes a chair, or kendo sticks with the one that got her.
Oh, the kendo.
I'm like, kendo sticks fucking real.
Yeah.
And you see
the welts
I don't know
develop immediately.
because I'll never take one because I'm a puss. But like,
oh man, I'd have to try it.
I can't really give it a bell.
Oh, I'd have to. Just like hell yeah, like
where's Jay at? They can.
I was gonna say Jay. What
Jay
the hell? Can we come to DMDU and like somebody just hits her with some?
If anyone can make it happen,
like,
I'm pretty sure Jay can make it happen.
Jay can make it happen. So. For those who don't know, we have a friend. I've known
you have a friend.
I have a friend. We now collectively do. Jay is the co-owner of a Melbourne-based wrestling company called Deathmatch Down Under.
Yep. So if you want like people getting bloody and raw and shit,
Deathmatch Down Under is literally that.
Yeah.
The good thing about Deathmatch though is it's not like so here it's a little bit different. Obviously with WrestleMania you have women's matches and stuff like that. They have just matches.
They're primarily gender
primarily into gender matches.
Love.
Yep, and they are death matches.
Yeah.
So you see chicks getting stapled and chicks taking chairs and chains and stuff like that. Well, there was
like their upcoming pay-per-view. This is not a side promotion, by the way. We're just kind of fucking excited.
Oh, we mark out.
So their next one's the name is an Australian colloquialism. You know, I'm not here to fuck spiders, which I fucking died when I read that. So I don't know whether it was Jay or Bateman that named it. Whoever named it, they should be applauded. Because it was just fucking fantastic. But so they were supposed to have essentially a barbed wire death match like AEW, but with a man and a woman. I was like, fuck Apparently they've had to change it and push it back. But either way, it's a complete side discussion. I need to go so bad.
Oh, yep. But yeah, definitely check out Deathmatch Down Under.
But one thing that we did check out though is WrestleMania Night 2.
Yes, we did. Do you want to take the lead on this one?
Sure, man. Yeah, I'll run it. So night 2 started very similar. No rain delay today, which was nice. It did come out with Paul Hogan. Right. Paul Hogan. Hulk Hogan and Titus Neal dressed as pirates this time. I was like, oh, you're both fucking dumb. Like,
I was having a laugh. I was playing with James earlier, put a pirate hat on my head, and I was like, maybe I should wear this for the stream.
Yeah, you could get away with it. The pirate theme. I don't know why they didn't do it the first night. They just did it the second night, which was weird, but that's cool. You do you pirates.
You do you.
Then Hank Hogan, we named him because I jokingly called it the Andrew the Giant Battle Royal. And I broke both Dash and Craig.
As you do.
Yeah, because Andrew the Giant and Hank Hogan.
I
thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, so that made us chuckle a lot. But yes, start of the night, Randy Orton versus The Fiend with Alexa Bliss. Randy comes out first in white gear.
The Tandy. Anyway. Yeah, he did. And then we saw an extravagant entrance from the Fiends.
Yeah, so Alexa Bliss comes down on the show. So we get this weird kind of the example that I used, which made sense. So if you guys watch Super Bowl, and there's the moment where the Weeknd is running through this light bulb hallway.
Oh yeah,
it's exactly what the Fiend did. The Fiend walked through it in his burnt up, like,
oh yeah,
toasted cheese sandwich.
It looked like one of the tunnels from AEW.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's like a lit
cages, fire.
Yeah, so he kind of wanders through and he like regenerates Doctor Who style into a newer version of the Fiend. So it's the same outfit. So it's not the same outfit as used to. It is a new outfit.
Yes.
But with a new, it's a similar but new mask.
Altered mask. Yeah.
It's an altered mask. It's a bit cleaner. But he's looking and Bray's looking a bit thinner as well.
Yes, yeah, looking fit.
So Alexa comes into ringside and there is a giant Jack in the Box, which and understandably the Fiend comes out.
Yes.
And he very trepidatiously walks around the top of the thing because he probably can't see shit in that mask.
Oh yeah.
And then just leaps his way into the ring, takes on Randaddy, and
flying like a flying clothesline straight off the top of that.
And they
thing.
bush for a little while, and it was essentially a standard match.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of Randy doing shit and
the Fiend no selling.
No,
yeah. Ridiculous.
Which was all cool and fine and all that sort of
and
junk.
there's some real cool spots in there too.
And something that I think for many is probably a bit anticlimactic or a bit controversial.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? Obviously, it was in the entire red light again.
Oh yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. It wasn't as harsh this time, but it still was a put off.
Still pretty harsh.
Yeah.
So they turn around. Alexa is sitting on top of the Jack in the Box, sitting cross-legged, very Aleister Black style. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
With a crown of thorns that was leaking this black fluid, like the one that we've seen Randy throw up.
Yeah,
Alexa did the dribble as well.
Yeah.
And she kind of reaches out to the Fiend, and Fiend almost in trance-esque style turns around then reaches out. And then that allows Randy to rock an RKO, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Randy fucking legs it.
Yeah, of course, as you would. And then, everything shuts down, comes back, they're gone. Yeah. Yeah, so Fiend stands
saying
up,
that
they're
though,
staring
like that
at
big
each other.
wide shot that they did shows the lid closing ever so last second. I bet you're in the Jack in the Box, fucks. Shout out to dude in the green shirt though. You should see he was like, whoa. He's like, where'd they go? Some guy, he was selling like a champ.
Oh, I love it.
It was amazing.
So good.
But the reason I say this is controversial is because this does feel relatively anticlimactic.
Oh yeah. It was. But at the same time, it's that weird, it's like a cliffhanger of your favorite show. It's just like, I just wanted this to happen. And then it's like, but what's going to happen next? So it's got me on the edge.
Yeah, because I'm on the record for being a fan of whatever the fuck this storyline is trying to be. Because to me, wrestling is supposed to be stupid soap opera bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what this is to me. This feels like I'm watching Temptations.
Yeah.
Was it Temptations?
With what was her name? Like Charity.
Yeah, like all that super weird
Timmy
shit.
the puppet.
Yeah, like
thing.
not quite like
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of too.
Yeah, not quite like Bold and the Beautiful. Like this, like Temptations was fucking weird.
Oh, Temptations was weird, and I loved it.
Yeah, and this gives me that same level of weirdness.
You know what? I was just thinking.
Holy fuck, Ryan! How much weight did you lose? I lost 30 kilos last year.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't run into each other. It's passions, not temptations.
Passions. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Jay. So this is Jay, who we were talking about earlier. As you can see, deathmatch Jay.
Yeah. Because we didn't run into each other at GCW, so you wouldn't have seen me all thin.
No. Well, I saw Jay at GCW, but yeah.
I lost like 30 kilos, and now I go to the gym, so I'm trimmed up a bit more as well.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, I got to get ring ready.
We went to the gym today together. Shocking. Teamwork. Definitely very I was just thinking for some reason it clicked and remember the whole Bobby Lashley Lana wedding thing? That gives me real maths vibes.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, and that's why I loved it, because it's just brainless, just dumb, stupid, and that's what I watch wrestling for.
Yeah, and that's it, because to me, wrestling is embracing that stupid, because everyone's like, this isn't wrestling. I'm like, motherfucker, if you go back and watch SmackDown episode 1, it is like fucking Taker kidnapping Stephanie McMahon from the Ministry.
Oh, yeah!
Are you telling me that this isn't wrestling?
Yeah, remember the time Triple H knocked Stephanie out with date rape drugs and married her?
Yeah. That's the dumb shit that I want.
That's what I want.
Yeah, like that's that. Like for me, that like I also like obviously the in-ring shit. I appreciate the in-ring shit.
Oh
but
yeah,
like you know,
there's a talent to what they do. They are athletes.
yeah, we've discussed this before. Like when I want to look at really good in-ring talent, I watch AEW.
Yes.
But when I want dumb storylines, I watch WWE.
Yeah.
Right? And so AEW aren't gonna deliver me fucking zombie fiend.
Yeah, exactly right.
WWE will.
Exactly right.
That's right. Mae Young gave birth to a fucking hand.
And
Stone Cold got belted Vince with a bedpan.
Yeah, not just that. It was a white hand that was supposed to be Mark Henry's child. So don't forget that. There was all that. There was this whole thing where Big Daddy V back in the day was like dating Lillian Garcia, the ring announcer.
Yeah.
There was a whole thing there. Like Jay says it like perfectly. Like sometimes wrestling is best when it's just dumb.
Well, because as I said, like the reason I got into wrestling, because for those that don't know, like I've only been into wrestling for the last like 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And the reason being is because with my day job, I'm a disability support worker where I use video games as therapy, right? So my side hustle, which is video games related. My day job is video games related, and I needed something to escape. Mm-hmm. I needed to break it, and wrestling became that for me because it was my mental health checker. It allowed me to disengage and just enjoy something for what it was.
Yeah.
And when wrestling is stupid, that's what it is for me. It is just like, or a man wrestling a teddy bear like Mad Dog and TC Dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, that's what wrestling is, and then I get to just mark out and forget and enjoy it for whatever it is. Like that's the big part for me.
Exactly.
So
right.
with Alexa and the Fiend, that's the part that I'm enjoying is this dumb because I want to look at this. I'm like, I'm like, the Fiend is really dead.
Yeah.
This is Zombie Fiend. This is Frankenfiend.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Frankenfiend and Alexa is controlling him. What previously was the Fiend controlling people, it is now turned around. The Fiend is being controlled by Alexa.
Yes,
and
which is amazing.
We haven't watched Raw yet.
No, not all of it.
Well, not all. We watched like half an hour of it. So I know the Firefly Funhouse is coming back.
Yes.
Like, are we seeing Bray again, or is it just Alexa and fucking New Fiend? Like, is he essentially like this fucking mindless monster now?
Yeah. Where's Rambling Rabbit and Abby the Witch?
Yeah.
And,
is Alexa now Abby the Witch? Is she now Sister Abigail?
Is it Alexa the Witch?
Oh.
Instead of Abby the Witch. So many questions to be answered. I'm excited. I love it. Tell me more.
But yeah, no, look, I understand that for many people that were disappointed by this, and what you feel, totes valid.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do Raw spoilers? Fuck yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
We're still going to watch it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, man, we flat out, which is like the first thing I said when we started the show was the Viking Raid is back. So,
that's true.
We're just spitting spoilers out everywhere.
So I like that idea. Give it to me. Give it to me now. So that was not Alexa, it was Lily. Fuck Lily. Is that her altar?
Oh, who knows?
Because we know that like Alexa has the two, like she has the white and the pink, and then she has like the black and the purple.
Oh yeah.
So she already has like, I was really hoping there would be a mask, some sort of Alexa, but this is kind of a little bit cooler.
Interesting.
So I'm very keen to watch Raw now.
Yeah, I might have to have a chat with you privately, Jay. Tell me about Lily.
What was next?
Next was the disappointment that was the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Yep.
Yeah. Although it was pretty cool. So the way it went down was Shayna Baszler had tagged herself in, and Natalia, so it was Natalia and Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler tagged herself in. Natty didn't realize the tag had happened. Natty threw a sharpshooter on Nia Jax. Shayna comes in straight after with a Kirafuna clutch, knocks her straight out while she is still locked in. With Nia Jax. So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler do retain, which is a bit of a bummer. But man, like seeing
Deep brain fun.
Yeah. Sorry, I just
Shayna.
got seeing Tamina lift up Nia Jax was
Oh,
just
yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it was absolutely wild. It was just
On a real side discussion, I know that we know this is the outcome match. I saw a photo of Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville rocking fucking suits.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I can ever like. I look really good in a suit now. Just saying. Like
Oh,
old
yeah.
Ryan, not so much. New Ryan, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you've defined.
I never want to wear a suit again after seeing them two wear suits.
Oh, right. I've never worn a suit, and I was like, I'm never going to look that good, so I'm not going to try.
I'm like, fuck, I'm out. I'm not wearing suits anymore.
Yep, exactly right. But that happened. Shania Payne retained.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So like, I really like the idea of, Tamina and Natalia getting a go.
Yes.
But where now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I understand that, like, Shania Payne are a good team, and like they've got that strength, they've got that power, and they are showing that they are dominant. But I look at this now, I'm like, who now? Because even looking at that turmoil match, what we're seeing is literally thrown together teams. There are no dedicated, committed tag teams. Like, apart from the Riot Squad, and I guess now Shania Payne, because they've been together for like a good window of time, there aren't teams. Like, the Iconics are gone. There were other ones, I'm sure. Like, Sasha and Bailey aren't a thing.
Sasha and Bailey are not a thing anymore.
You know what I mean? Like, Dana and Mandy have been together for a while now.
Yeah, because it split Sonya and Mandy from Fire and Desire. They split, so that's a whole thing there. It was...
like, I understand they need to
Peyton
make...
and Lacey, which just got thrown together out of nothing, and now there's nothing
I understand
there.
they need to... Like, we're standing here being like, why don't they make new teams? They are making new teams, but, like... It feels thrown together, at least initially, and that's just probably my own, like, biasy, I guess. Like, when you're fucking making teams, like, we are making teams. Like, but not how I want to.
Yeah, exactly right. You kind of want that establishment of, like, they come in as a team, they leave as a team, not they get thrown together at some point.
Yeah, but they have to, like, it's one of those things, like, eventually we just forget. Like, Dana and Mandy, like, oh, yeah.
But you know what? So, Mullet's obviously just said, just reform the Iconics. I think with this...
The payoff whenever they get there.
I feel like the longer they hold it out, the bigger the pop.
Yeah.
And I feel like we'll have, like, a huge WrestleMania moment for them again.
Well, they won at WrestleMania.
I know,
like,
so I feel like it'll be a different...
So.
I feel like it'll end up when they... So, obviously, because they were, for the most part, a heel tag team, I feel like when they finally do bring them back into it, I feel like it's going to be some build-up from both sides that puts them in a face position. I think that's what needs to happen. But, yeah...
So jumping. So the Mad Dog adds the ref was even in front of Natty saying she ain't legal. Like, Natty, you're a fucking veteran. And Jay also adds, made Nat look like a bit of a moron.
Yep. I mean, in the heat of the moment, you can not hear things. So.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of deaf in one area. I don't know what matter.
Oh yeah, I have subjective hearing. So
Saving it up for when they go back to Australia for a super show.
Oh yeah. We'll do it like they did with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah. Well, they have the live show. Allegedly in August or whatever, which we still have awesome fucking tickets for. That ain't happening.
No, I don't think so.
I want to go so fucking bad. Not happening.
Yeah, no. I reckon next year at the earliest. Next.
And because I bought tickets knowing that I wanted to be like, Becca Lynch! I can't even do that now because she's not around.
Well, she may be when we get to it. And next was...
in like 2 years when the border's opening.
Yeah. So next was the YouTube superstar ringside watching a match.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah. So it was Sami Zayn trying to convince Logan Paul that there was a conspiracy, and he was facing Kevin Owens.
Like,
I forgot his name. I was going to call him Knockout for a second because I always write KO, and I was like, no, Kevin Owens. Fight Owens fight. Yeah, so basically Sammy's going on this whole conspiracy theory. If anybody was like with me on it, it'll be Logan Paul, whatever.
Oh, thank you for the sub, Jay.
Oh, thank you.
What a champion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. Like, obviously it's KO and Sami Zayn. They know each other so well. So ultimately the match was like, it was really good because they've got that chemistry. They know each other back to front.
It was fast. Like, it kicked in a gear real quick, which I really enjoyed. It was like, ding, ding.
Well, that was the same with Cesaro though. Like, Cesaro, like, as soon as the bing, 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 like, he was forearm and like, that's what I love. It's straight off the bat. Like, get straight into it. No, like, it's WrestleMania. Don't screw around. And
one thing that like I've learnt, that made me laugh so fucking hard was I've always seen Kevin Owens cannonballs in the corner. I'm like, that can't hurt that much. I have a 4-year-old. He cannonballs me all the time and it fucking sucks.
Yes.
So like having a full-blown Kevin Owens, I'm like, yeah, it blows.
Yeah, that
blows so hard.
Yeah. Ultimately KO did get the win. It took 2 super kicks and a stunner, but he got it.
And there was almost like a package pile driver at one point. I was like, and that didn't happen. I was like,
and obviously Logan Paul being Logan Paul, he Oh, yeah. Cannonballs worked amazing for the theme. They did mention that on commentary. How
Oh my God, they really did.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
Now, sadly, we didn't get Kevin Owens jumping off something big.
No.
Obviously, the rain put an issue to that. And because, like, I was hoping that someone would jump off or at least fight on the
ship,
boat.
yep.
But turns out that thing was really high and really large and probably not very good to climb on.
No.
Sadly, no one jumped off anything huge apart from Shane.
Exactly right.
But I guess Kevin did that last year, but he also fucking really injured himself last year from memory.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he didn't do it again.
Exactly right. So yeah, Logan Paul comes in, is like, "What, dude?" And Sammy's like,
So Sammy bounces.
because
he holds Kevin's hand. Kevin's looking at his hands like, "Don't you fucking touch me!" And then
he almost
stuns
looked
him.
at it like, "Bro, you've given me like I'm diseased. I have to go to a leper colony.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?" Like, and then KO ends up just stunning him. Beautiful, which was perfect. Like, it needed to happen.
Well, because one thing I was really sort of hoping for, because we're talking about the with the boat. Because like I wanted someone to come off the boat, but then I realized it was way too high. But then I thought, well, maybe because there was no falls count anywhere stip, which makes sense. Pandemic.
Yes.
But I was hoping that at least someone would get up there and like boost on top of it for a little bit, and like so the camera goes in and they're like sword fighting or something dumb, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because in order to get up there in falls count anywhere time would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
but.
and well, Jay does say like it was behind the Titantron as well. So like if it's behind the screen, that's not going to do any good. Puck just said, it's sad because it took place, in 2021 and we didn't get a Kairi Sane Pirate entrance.
Oh my, which
would have been amazing. Apparently she was on Japanese commentary though, so she was there.
Cool.
Yep. So that's
or at least not there in person, but she was involved.
Yes. Yep. Exactly right. So this. Yeah.
But so the chat also did mention about the winner, obviously being Kevin Owens, and sort of where do we stand on the winner?
Yeah.
Because right now there is no major payoff for the whole Sami Zayn conspiracy. Because really it is kind of dying out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's losing its momentum. Mm-hmm. So having Kevin lose here would give Sami a little bit of legitimacy and sort of push something in terms of that. Give us something to that conspiracy idea, and then we could take it away again. But
yeah, it's that weird. I feel like it's that weird situation of like tough love. I feel like it's going to be that weird comeback of like KO's had to do the whole like, hey, I need to knock some sense into you, literally. And now like I feel like Sammy will come around and be like, oh crap, like you were right. I'm sorry.
What I would really like, though, is if the payoff to this whole thing is, there is actually a conspiracy.
Oh, like, that would be hilarious.
All of this, and then some point Adam Pearce goes, we were intentionally.
Oh, and then somehow it turns out, no, it wasn't actually Buddy Murphy all those years ago. It was actually Sami Zayn behind there.
Yeah. What I would love.
Pushing over shit on Roman Reigns or whatever.
He opens the door, and then, like, there's actually a meeting, and it's just like, how me fuck over Sami Zayn? Oh, my God. Like, that's what I want. Like, that is either two ways it pays off. Either it just gets buried and it goes away, which is probably disappointing, or we get a moment of correct.
Yes.
And then he gets his vindication, and then I don't know what happens after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, I think I prefer Sammy and Kevin as a team as opposed to enemies. So for me, I just kind of wasn't really vibing this too much, especially with Logan Paul. I want nothing to do with that kid. So.
Logan Paul getting stunned though. That was
that was perfectly needed. So did everybody else apparently.
Yeah, the crowd went bonkers.
So up next we did have the Intercontinental Championship match.
The Nigerian drum match where not a single drum was used.
It was all like cymbals and
there was a gong.
Sticks.
Yeah, there was a gong.
Yeah.
There were drums and the well-known Nigerian weaponry, the kendo stick.
Oh wow!
I have such an issue with this in general. All right, so in short, dude gets fucking dick grabber. I don't remember his name. I call him Dip Grabber because he grabbed a dude's dick in Raw Underground, and I was like,
Apollo.
Yeah. Apollo was there, but no, there was the other guy that came out, Baba Tunde or whatever his name is.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no, I remember that. I forgot he came.
Yeah, Baba
out.
Kato.
Kato. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him because he grabbed a dude's dick in Underground. I was like, oh, that's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, which was a really crappy ending.
Yeah, so in short, he won. So Apollo Crews won with assistance from Dick Grabber, and that caused the win. So in this entire 6-7 match run, Apollo Crews won twice, one by DQ, one by assistance or interception. Yep. So why is it going this way?
Especially in Tampa Bay, Big E's home.
Not even that. Like, that's a big part of it, obviously. But I'm just looking at it going, even up until this point, I don't understand how Apollos keep getting opportunities.
Yeah, exactly right. Just because you changed your shtick doesn't mean, like, just because Kofi stopped being Jamaican didn't put him in the title picture straight away. Like, it's not how it works.
But to add to that as well, yeah, so Jay in the chat does mention it felt a little bit racist. It did feel a little bit racist. This whole fucking thing's felt a little racist. Saying that, though, I'm a white guy. I don't have...
It's Vince McMahon.
It's tough. But, like, yes, technically Apollo is of Nigerian heritage, so it's not entirely racist. But, and apparently Baba Tunde's also got Nigerian heritage as well. Baba Kato, whatever his name is. Yep. Baba Tunde is that sound fucking racist.
Yeah.
Dick Grabber. Dick Grabber, apparently he's of Nigerian heritage. So I like that. That's a cool bit of thrown together, but yeah, it looks as if essentially they created this weird stipulation based around the thing in order to have an interception. What's
to have
that's
like
not the word I'm looking for.
What am I looking for? Basically to give Apollo the win. Like, it was basically like, this is setting it up so we know that this is Apollo's night. Like the ancient Nigerian
but like,
and spirits and yada yada yada.
This is like, yeah, Big E's won interference. Thank you. Big E has 100% won every match. In this feud.
Yeah, and Big E's told Apollo Crews to go away.
Unless it's Big E moving into like the next echelon.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, once again,
right.
I am not a wrestling booker, nor do I intend to understand how WWE book things. Because they'll have someone lose, and then come through and get the win at the end.
Yeah.
Like their moment. But like, this feels unearned.
Yes, definitely. It feels. It's like, for me,
but I guess it's supposed because he is the heel. But
yeah, it feels like the kid that keeps nagging for something, and you give it to them just to shut him up. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah,
it's
but
like, fine, you have the iPad.
No, because like, it was more like, if anything, Mum said no, so we asked Dad, and Dad goes, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the scenario.
Yeah. It's like, it's basically like he's gone to Adam Pearce, and Pearce is like, no. And he goes to Sasha, like, to Sonia, like, Mom. She's like, oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, you can get a shot.
You can have a go. You can have another go. It's okay. You guys can share.
I was really kind of mad at the end of this outcome. Mostly because I don't know what this 3 months of build up is going for.
No. It
because
feels like a huge waste.
Once again, what's the next thing? They have another match?
Yeah.
8 times in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, there are people when they wrestle and it's like,
wait, they're Raw though, aren't they?
No, they're SmackDown.
Oh, okay, yep.
So it's like in 3 months they'll have near 7 to 8 matches, right?
Yeah.
There are people that fight no more than 3 times in their entire career, and those matches mean something.
Yeah.
It's almost like, how is there nobody else that can get within the Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many options.
Yeah. Like, I try to look at the silver lining when it comes to WWE, and I give them benefit of the doubts in places that I probably shouldn't. Here, I simply can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where, like, for us, like, I'm looking at the card now, and we are this is match 5 of the night. We've had one good match so far. Now, for me...
You all right? Got COVID?
Yeah, just dying.
Cool.
At
least I know.
One thing I found with night 2 is I did notice that there was a lack of WrestleMania moments, but there was a presence of live artists. So we did have Wale come out and do Big E's entrance. Obviously, being from Tampa Bay, Big E got a big whole shebang thing. And then I mean, speaking of Big E, just there, Puck just goes, Big E could be a threat to Roman, which, you know what? I think maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe. Maybe next year is Big E's WrestleMania moment like Kofi did. Maybe we'll have some, Roman Reigns like pushing him down. You'll never be good enough. Who knows? I'd love that, actually.
What was next?
And what was next was, first of all, another live performance.
Yeah.
So 2 live performances in a row because I go Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Had her entrance done live. This is my brutality. Anyway.
Like, I'll admit, like I said, I very rarely do I get patriotic. I say that because just because I was happened to be born on this patch of dirt compared to somebody else's patch of dirt, it was. I'd never get really like fucking Straya. I jokingly do it, but like, I have to admit, like, I did get a little fucking Straya.
Yeah. See, for me, I did too, but that stems from I think I've been watching the wrestling for so long that I come from an era where there was no Australians. Yeah. None whatsoever. For me to see, rippers from Addy. Like Rippers.
I love that we've penned Rippers.
I love Rippers. But yeah, Rippers just rolling in from Adelaide, just like good old WA Rippers.
SA Rippers.
SA Rippers, thank you. Good old South Australian Rippers. So spoiler alert, everybody already knows, Rippers is the Raw champion.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's right.
For me, I genuinely cried because I remember being a little girl and being like, why are there no Australians? What's wrong with us? Why aren't we on this stage? Why aren't we represented here? Like, I know we'd have, like, I'm like, there's got to be Australian wrestlers. Like, I didn't know what I know now. But, I mean, I was wrestling the likes of Richie Effin Taylor on my lunch breaks at school. So I knew wrestling was in Australia. Yeah. I was suplexing him over chairs and things. Anyway, yeah.
Just sorry. There's some names that you've dropped.
I'll pick them up. There. Sorry, yeah, I'm just gonna pick up those names.
Make sure you.
Yeah, I was like, all I could think was just like, it's finally happened. For me, it was like I got emotional because I was like, I have wanted this, specifically an Australian woman with one of the biggest women's titles. I have wanted this since I was young. And I got teary. I got real emotional because I was like, oh my God, it's finally happened. And it happened in such a way that, like, Rippers puts on a hell of a performance. And it was such a good showing from her that I was like, I was like, we've done it. Like, my brain was just like, this is it. We Australian women have put our name on the map, on the grandest stage of them all. And that's I dreamt of that as a kid, and it blows my mind, and I'm just so like ecstatic but emotional because there's just so much going on within me in there, because I was always like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid I wanted to be the first ever women's Australian wrestler.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I did, yeah. When I was young enough, I'd be like fighting my dad. I'm like, Daddy, I'm gonna be the first women's. Didn't end up happening, which is fine. Like, I've got my own cool career and I'm happy with that.
Hey, you say that like you and I haven't
that we're not going to the gym trying to get ripped so we can have our moments.
As I said, like last year my goal was to lose a bunch of weight. This year my goal is to take a bump and not die. And Jem's going to join me on that journey.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're a team, yeah? And teamwork makes the dream work. So
it's like, yeah, one of our...
You take a kendo, I take a kendo.
The original plan was by the end of this year, we would either do an MCW training session or take a bump somewhere.
Yeah.
And like, not
exactly
die.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Which I'm excited about.
Yeah, we'll make it happen one day.
We'll make it happen.
Get ripped like Rippers.
Get ripped like Rippers.
Max says, I'll happily give you the kendo. Fuck you, Max.
Wait, Ryan or me?
It's real.
It just makes me think back to GCW when Guido had the thing around Miss Fortune's neck, and she looks back at him and she goes, harder, Daddy. That's what that made me think of.
And Max is like, nah.
Yeah, he's just like, but like, you do the same, and he'd be like, yeah, no, I'm moving country. I'm moving elsewhere. Jay's down for it. He said, let's do this. They said, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
They did.
They did
Yeah.
say that. I'll take.
So,
I'll be like a massive bitch about it, but I'll do it.
oh wait, no, Jay has the kindos.
Oh no!
Oh, Jay has the kendo.
It's gonna suck.
Oh.
But look, although I can't relate to how you feel about, when it comes to seeing women representation, especially in Australian women representation, like obviously I can't match that because I'm a dude.
Yeah.
But there's nothing but fucking dudes.
Yes.
In wrestling, nothing but fucking dudes. I should probably rephrase that sentence, but I'm not going to. Saying that though, watching NXT Takeover, Stand and Deliver this week, we saw Bronson Reed, another Australian, not just win a gauntlet match, also get a North American Championship match against Gargano, and he fucking gave it a red hot go.
Yeah, it was the week for us.
Fucking thick boy. And then obviously had Indy go for the NXT Women's Tag Champions with Candice. And it's one of those things that's just so fucking bizarre. Like, I remember seeing Indy obviously a year ago now, but being like, oh yeah, sure. And then there's like, oh yeah, she's going to NXT. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah,
and
it was literally like the week after we saw her too.
Yeah, and then she's now part of the way, and it's just like,
it's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of that. It's such a, it's such a really cool experience. I think that's what got me as well with it, is obviously with the whole indie thing and, being there and seeing her in person in the ring, and then knowing that like for me, because I've seen her in person, I know she's a person, like my brain registered.
Yeah, she's a person compared to like the other, because they're all like, they are mini celebrities essentially.
Exactly it. So
like we've seen her in town.
To me, like Kofi Kingston wasn't a person. He's always this character I've seen on a screen. Meeting Kofi in person, I was like, okay, he is flesh and blood, and I've felt that myself. Yeah. So
and also being in that room and seeing like Bailey in
and it really does.
That was a good room.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cool, man. Just getting bird's eye view of Bailey's butt.
If there's another tour, we need to find a way to get in those rooms and interview people again.
Yeah, we definitely need to. That was amazing. But yeah, it was definitely a hell of a match. Rippers was the brutality, and ultimately Rippers got the win, and I'm all for it. Yeah. And like, as much as I wanted to see like some tears and some, oh my God, this is a big moment, I also know that Rippers is the bad guy. Duh. So I knew there wouldn't be, but like it was still, even given the circumstances and Ripper's position, it was still a beautiful moment.
The thing that, the only thing that I will point out one thing.
Yes. And
it's probably a little gripe. It's a little personal gripe when it comes to wrestling and the in-ring yelling at each other, which is, I love it. But like whenever it's this is what you asked for, or you made me do this, it seems a little played out.
Yeah, and especially when it's like, well, no, I didn't, because you put the target on me. I didn't.
Yeah, right. You said Rippers. You walked in and went, "Hey, I won the championship." And Oscar's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, you asked for this.
Yeah, you literally asked for it, Rhea. Like, pull your head in.
So Jay, I want to see you with skewers in your head.
Did you see? No.
Oh, no, I've seen Bateman do it. Nah, that's too much for me, man. That looks big owies.
I'd do it, but I'd also feel really bad about doing it, so I'd probably cry while I was at it, just to give you some excitement.
Just add the cry.
Oh, just add the emotion to it. Get you all connected. Make you feel what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's like, I'm so sorry, Boosh.
This is the best feeling in the world. No. Jay does make a point there as well. They said that there's only so many different storylines you can go through. It's like guitar chords. Or
I do understand that. Like, there is, it's just like movies, right? There's only so many stories that you can tell. There's only so many stories that you can hit. Yeah. So you are going to see repeats.
Well, yeah. So we've seen so many different styles of marriages and divorces and babies, and it's like a recycled thing. But
it feels like there's a different way you can word it. Yes. And then make it seem less
recycling. You take one thing and make another. That's exactly what you do when you recycle. So you take that one thing and you turn it into another thing out of that same thing. So like what it is like, wedding storyline is a wedding storyline. Plastic is plastic, but plastic can be made from a plastic container to a plastic bottle. a wedding story can be made from like story A, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, to story B, Bobby Lashley and Lana.
Yeah.
Like, so there's so many ways.
Or even, like
Yeah.
Kip and Penelope. Like, I think they did something a little bit different compared as well.
Yeah.
But saying that though, in that same breath, I fucking loved Lana and Bobby. That was my
Yes.
right kind. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so like brainless maths.
Yeah.
But it's it is that circumstance of like, there really is only like that. There's always going to be that base, and you build on the base.
Yeah.
That's just the way.
And like,
it
I think
works.
the baseline is there, and like, I have no issue with that base because once again, like,
Like the
Spielberg says there's 8 kinds of stories ever made.
Yes.
But like, how you get that, or how you work that story, or how the wording that you use within that story.
It's like building a house. All the slabs are the same. Like a cement slab is a cement slab.
Yeah.
But the house built on it is different.
Yeah, because even when it comes down to like, you made me do this, could have been like, I came in, you agreed.
Yeah.
You okayed this?
Yeah, not you made me do this. You agreed.
You
to
okayed this.
You chose this.
This was your choice.
Yeah,
It says the
exactly
exact
right.
same thing, but it's
Yeah.
a slightly different way.
And it hits harder too. It hits differently when you say, instead of saying you asked for this when they didn't.
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
not
you
true.
made
it's like
this
you
choice.
chose this.
Yeah.
You asked for this. You wanted this.
Yeah.
And that brings more power to those words
Yeah.
as well. It's already become pretty evident that speaking is probably not Ripper's strong suit.
But she can. It's just like maybe this. Yeah, I don't know, because we saw her do a little beginning promo on Raw this week, and she's looking off and looks like she's reading.
Yeah.
Because I know at NXT, I think they're a little bit more liberal on the scripting side of
Yeah.
promos. Where I think obviously with Raw and SmackDown, it's like you read exactly this.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I can't cut a promo to save my life. So
Yeah. Yeah. No.
who am I to judge?
Yeah. I do have to make a note of Matt Riddle and his scooter getting around on the second day. Absolutely beautiful, especially because he had a big old busted lip the day before he got beat up and bled.
Was that the night before or was it this night?
Or was it this night? Which was?
When was because Shamey and was here.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, we did talk about that, yeah.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
Did we skip Sheamus and Riddle?
We did.
Sheamus and Riddle had a match for the United States Championship.
Yeah, lucky I brought that
Apparently
up.
we skipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in short, Riddle lost the title to Sheamus, which makes sense because... Actually, no, we'll wait till we get to that. Good match. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it ended with Riddle trying to do a sort of springboard moonsault. He gets a bro kick to the face.
Oh, he's upside down when he
his
cops the
face.
kick.
Blows
Yeah.
out his lip.
Yeah. Which, like, I feel the same. In short, fuck Riddle. But, like...
I like his character.
I
He
like
as a
the
person's
character.
pretty garbage.
Yep, him as a person, garbage. The character, like, some of the stuff he said at the start of the Raw was so funny today.
Yeah.
The Raw. At the start of the Raw, it was hilarious. Like, he is a funny dude, and he can do it. Like, talking about, like, oh, I wore a tinfoil hat to school for a year, and then braces and catching radio waves and dumb shit like that. It's stuff you'd expect to come out of a stoner on a scooter.
Even his complete, little fuck up the other week, which was fantastic.
Oh, what, with Asuka?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah, do you think scooters would be big in Japan? I forgot what I was talking about.
And
Okay,
then
bye.
just fucks off.
I do love that he's just getting around on the scooter, though. I love it.
Yeah, and we also glossed over Riddle getting rolled papers from RVD after the Great Khali got bored of their segment. He's talking, and Khali's like, what the fuck is this? And RVD has to come in and say that shit.
Yeah, that was so... I honestly just don't think Carly could understand him.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Carly could understand him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was... Yeah, I was so shocked to see RVD. I forgot he got inducted.
Saying that, though,
Yeah.
as I just punched your phone, apparently.
Yeah, fight me.
That was cool. I expected that exactly to happen.
Yeah,
Because for me, there's only one person that should have had that United States Championship, and it wasn't fucking Matt Riddle. It was Keith Lee.
Yeah.
And so all I'm saying is that
Keith
what'll
gonna take out
happen?
Shamey.
Riddle's lost the title now. Shamey is there, and then Keith's like, "Fuck you," and he hip and shoulders. He yeets him into the next, like the third row back. And then Keith Lee is the deserving United States champion.
I would love to see Keith Lee come back for that title.
Yeah. So I'm okay with this match. I was okay with it anyway.
Mm.
But like to me, it only validates the idea that I created in my head.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's as long as it leads to Keith.
Yes.
All roads lead to Keith.
Yes.
Anything.
Yeah. That's the missing piece at the moment, I think, is Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Yeah. Another note, I do have to make a big old callback to Bailey being amazing again tonight.
Oh, yeah.
She was so funny. So funny. It was just talking to Eric Bischoff about podcasts and stuff like that, and they kept just talking over her and changing the conversation. Beautiful. And
then she comes out a little bit later and
Yeah.
with Hulk Hogan and I almost said Hank Hogan again. Hulk Hogan and Titus, and she comes out and talks some smack, and the Bellas come out and fucking rock her.
Oh, yeah, they did too. The Bellas come out and beat the shit out of her. They go to say something and she goes, up, and they just belt her one.
So, because one thing you'll notice is Nikki is essentially wearing... Oh, fuck
Careful.
me. I drop shit everywhere. She's wearing like the tank top sports
Dress
like the
thing,
sports,
yeah, with the little
'cause
glitter
that's
pants
that's how
underneath.
much I know fucking sports. The
Jersey.
the basketball style
Yeah,
jersey.
yeah.
Brain's like, sports. The basketball style jersey dress. So it's like, and then she comes, because I saw that the night before. I'm like, is she gonna fucking like? We're gonna see her do something? Because like she's not just wearing a nice dress. She's wearing a homage-y sort of dress.
Yeah, which I think.
then she-
well, they were being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And then there was like a minor bus, like no bumps were taken, but
Yeah.
because I know that Nikki's pretty fucked up.
Yes. And they did tweet like, you know, both the Bellas are like, if we ever come back, we know who we're going for first, and like a little thing of Bailey. But yeah, it was I think it was like a slap and a knee, like Brie knocked her out with the knee.
Someone pointed out on Twitter, I think it was Tom Colahue, was like, that slap rule, like, are you sure it's a thing? I've seen a lot of leg slaps, and there was a fuck ton of leg slaps.
Oh yeah.
Left and right, everyone's slapping legs.
Everybody's
So there've been either
They're probably doing it deliberately.
many fines, or it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we did have the Hall of Fame 2021 happen this night as well, which we've already done. And yeah, I did mention the Bailey's Bella beatdown. Yeah. So yeah, Bailey got beat down by the Bellas.
And does that bring us to main event?
That brings us to the main event.
Main event! Sorry, it's a triple threat match. Edge versus Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. What do you think of this match?
Well, being a triple threat match, it was no disqualification.
No disquals.
So
Anything goes.
I immediately knew that Roman Reigns was walking out with the title.
Yeah, I was in a
knew it.
saying that. Spoilers. Roman retains after delivering concertos to both. To Daniel takes the concerto.
Yes.
Bus, Edge eats a concerto from Roman. Edge gets dragged over. Then they covers 1, 2. Jay coming through with 2 gifted subs. Thank you, Jay. So then Roman retains, but you were spot on. Like my original prediction was that Edge was gonna win by pinning Bryan. That allows Roman to be like, fuck you, and then they move into either Backlash or something a little bit later. Or maybe there's like a little bit of a line there. Mostly because if I look at the outcome now and that Roman wins, I'm like, who's next?
Yes.
What's next? And that's one thing that could just be me like not knowing how it all works, but it's like you can have him lose the title here, but still not be. He can still be the head of the table, right? So then it's all about him working Edge to get it back, and
Well, I mean, they're on a roll, especially because Jay did win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Andrew the Giant.
Yep.
Andrew the Giant. Yep.
Yeah. So it makes sort of sense. Yeah, it's a real weird one with this one, especially because like that, unless you're looking at it from the right angle, it looks like technically Edge got the win, but Edge's shoulders were down.
Both
Shoulders were down, so Roman Reigns was technically the winner. Puck did say that Roman Reigns apparently did tap when they had the 2 cross faces locked in, which I didn't see. I was watching pretty intently for it.
I was watching Bryan and Edge headbutt each other. That was awesome.
I was just so intrigued by watching how they were both holding him, and I was just like, what the hell? So I'll have to go back and
we're getting to the match itself. What do you think of the match itself?
The match itself, overall, not bad.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, not bad at all. I do love a good concerto.
Because like Edge went hard, Daniel went hard, Roman went hard.
And I mean,
I really enjoyed it.
We talk about the lack of what I talked about earlier. I was saying the lack of WrestleMania moments. I think this was still WrestleMania moments for both Daniel Bryan and Edge. Like if I was them and I had to I had to quit tomorrow or whatever it was, retire for whatever reason, I would be happy with that being my last WrestleMania because it was one hell of a gosh damn match.
The thing that I enjoyed here is because this is the first time that Roman's been in front of a crowd as a heel.
So yes.
They got to use the boos.
Oh, yes, that's true.
You know, this is the first time that they're like,
and you
yes,
want them to
fucking
come through
boo
hard.
Roman. Boo Roman.
Yep, and you want
and they're
them to
finally
come
doing
through.
it, and he's like eating it up and yelling back at the crowd.
Yeah.
And like,
according to Mullet, they were yelling harder than you were.
Yeah. Hey. So, because Jay asked the question, which wrestlers deserved a WrestleMania moment this year but didn't get one?
Daniel Bryan.
And he goes to answer after Roman Edge match. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But I think Edge is one of them.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think, nor does it, like, it's a weird line, right? So, because we're like 10 years to the day almost from when he retired. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think as a decade, like, he should win it as an achievement.
Yes.
And just to be like, you've fucking earned the ability to come back here and hold this title. Yeah. You've earned this.
See, I feel like they'll do that closer to that decade anniversary.
But it is now.
Oh, is it?
Apparently it's right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me upset now.
Because he mentioned cause in the promo from, Vince said, sorry, it was in the promo last week for the Go Home Raw.
Yes.
But Dash says that Vince said no because he's old. Vince is fucking old.
Yeah, Vince
He doesn't have to have it long. He could have it and then lose it the next week. It doesn't fucking matter. It's that moment.
Well, hey, let's talk about the 24/7 championship and how that's gone through like friggin' 90-year-olds. Like,
yeah,
too old. Get out.
That wasn't it. The 24/7 championship didn't even make an appearance.
Did not. No, I forgot it existed until I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yep, I forgot that was a belt.
I think that's gone.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to add to that, are there any other wrestlers that you think deserved a Mania moment that didn't get one?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I would have liked to have seen Daniel Bryan. I always do that. Daniel Bryan or Edge have their moment. I feel like either of those would have had it just would have hit better that one of them had have won. And yeah, that's all I can think of really. I don't really.
Yeah, because looking at the other,
I think for the most part it was pretty.
I'm a little bit bummed that say like Peyton didn't get involved. I think. So once again, I don't think the payoff would have been like, this is personal. Like seeing the Iconics come back together, I think would have been that big moment for me. Yeah. But I think for many that wouldn't have been the thing, right? I think being from Australia, I think that's a big part.
That's a huge bias for us.
That's a huge bias.
Yeah.
But okay, looking at the roster, like it was good. Mm-hmm. There was no Charlotte. I love Charlotte. I think Charlotte's great.
Yeah, but I think
she certainly earns it, but I also respect the fact that she didn't go. Yes. Whether it was she was told she couldn't or she made the call, I don't know which way it went, but I love that decision.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Same as Triple H not being involved.
Yes.
You know, there was none of that standardy WrestleMania-y thing, which I'm okay with. Like no Cena either. Yeah. Like there was no Becky didn't show, Ronda didn't show. Yeah. You know.
This is another thing that annoys me though, is the discussion of Vince saying somebody's too old. Bobby Lashley has been there longer than most of the superstars there, and Bobby Lashley has a huge belt on him. Why can't it?
Yeah.
Just because they just had to retire and then has come back and worked his ass off for it, whereas Bobby's been cruising because he's been healthy.
I understand that, you know, I'm not saying that everyone that wins the Rumble has to win the title. Like it's okay if it doesn't go that way.
Yes.
But they have essentially they have hitched the entire road to WrestleMania on Edge.
Yeah.
Like he has been the focus. He has been on every single show pretty much until he decided on Roman.
Yes.
And then he's appeared on every SmackDown since. So it's it's not as if
he's embracing everything.
Coming there he was the driving force on the road to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, he was.
And they went to NXT even. So they were using him as that
everything.
Spread the word, but it didn't seem to go that way, which is interesting. trying to think who else. Like, I think... Well, I do wonder, though, like, because the Andrew the Giant battle memorial... I just keep fucking naming it. I'm just going to keep adding wrong words to entertain me.
Yes.
So, like, that didn't happen on SmackDown, not on WrestleMania. So, like, do they technically get a WrestleMania payday because of it? Because, you know, the idea is they put everyone into Mania in order so everyone gets a bump. Yeah. But they did it on SmackDown, so that was weird.
That's an odd one.
I don't know. What do you reckon, chat? Is there anyone that should have got a moment but didn't? Yeah. So, in the chat, we've got... he's too old, says Park, but they gave Hogan the Undisputed title in his 60s. Yep.
That's true.
Because it's fucking Hogan.
Yeah.
Apparently, The Fiend was supposed to go over Orton. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But... yeah. I think that storyline's ended, though.
Yeah.
He Fiend and Orton, and I think...
Yeah, I think it needs to because it's been going on for so long, and I think it needs to move into... Like, if it's putting an onus on the Fiend himself, I think there could be something really cool there.
Not sure.
Don't know for how long, but it could be cool.
Also, the 24/7 championship was dealt with over YouTube.
There you go.
Apparently,
Charlotte
makes an appearance on Raw, which makes sense.
Beautiful.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Night 2.
Kurtz. Look, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. For what it lacked in WrestleMania moments, it made up with live music. So I'd probably call it dead down the middle and give it a Kurt.
Yeah, I'm giving it a Kurt as well. So yeah, because like the WrestleMania moments of the first night did bring it to a Kurt in a bar, but yeah, simply a Kurt for me as well.
Yeah.
Once again, there was just. It was good. I did enjoy watching it.
Yes, it was still good, but just wasn't.
It was missing.
It was missing
something.
the moments. There were those moments on night 1 that weren't there on night 2. There was those big pops. It was those little. They just didn't really seem to be there on night 2. I just didn't feel them. Whether it was like maybe it was like Mania fatigue. Who knows? But it really just didn't feel like it hit that extra mark.
I would still argue that 2 days on Mania is the best decision.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Breaking it up like that makes it so much easier to manage.
Yeah. Either way. Actually, speaking... so, Park's mentioning the commentary for the new guy. Michael...
I
don't know his name.
And
So, Michael Cole commentated the whole night for both nights.
Oh, he did.
Because so normally they swap over, but apparently... Tom Phillips isn't around anymore, and he's not around on Raw either. I don't know what's going down with that.
Interesting.
And yeah, Joe was there, but Joe's not on Raw today.
Joe's not on Raw. I would actually, you know what? I want to see Joe back in competition. I think he deserves a Mania moment.
Yes, Samoa Joe does deserve a Mania moment.
Samoa Joe and Keith Lee.
Fucking Keith. Yeah. That's the answer. Where is Keith?
Keith Lee, please.
That's what Keith needed. Keith needed to fucking badump, get him, like, yeet someone, Keith. Because, like, one of the best moments of Survivor Series, in 2019, was that Spirit Bomb on Roman where we thought he was going to fucking win that shit. Yes. And that. Yes. That again.
Yes. Or when he yeet Adam Cole.
Yeah, when he hip and shoulder Adam Cole into the next suburb. That was mad.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Adam Cole was here. He ended up in Werribee.
Yeah. Either way, let us know what you thought of WrestleMania 37. Comments below. Hit us up on the socials. All those links in the down below area. It's been awesome to finally come back after like a month and a half off.
How good is the vibe in person?
Yeah, it's a whole different feels.
It's different.
It's different. You live so far away, and
I know.
It's fine.
We'll make
if we break it out here and there, it's not so bad.
Yep, exactly.
This has been our WrestleMania in review. Thank you, everyone, for listening and joining us in the chats, whether it be here on the internet, where we had the likes of both Deathmatch Jay giving us a follow, as well as providing not just his own sub, but 2 other gifted subs, and Danger. DAN9ER also gave us the follow as well. We are very, very appreciative. Park says it's 5 a.m. I really should go to bed. Fuck yeah, you should go to bed. Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much
for joining us.
But this WrestleMania conversation came at you on a Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. Our regular show, which drops on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about... Wait, hang on. No. If you want to join this wrestling conversation, you can. Head over to facebook.com/group/popcultures, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, all those links in the description below. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this about this wrestling pod. If you're on the iTunes, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are on the YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/popcultures, as well as our merchandise store, popculture.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. But until we do this again, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Jem.
We'll see you then.
Night.